It finally happened. We finally got season 2 of Princess Connect Redive, and oh my god, I really couldn't be more excited than I am right now because it's Princess Connect, man. I mean, you can't get any better than Princess Connect. So this season, I am not really looking forward to too many shows. My season is like really barren. It's got like about 8 shows on it when I normally have about 14 shows that I'm watching. And we'll talk about those other shows in the other podcast, but this is going to be the Princess Connect podcast. Every week, I'm going to be showcasing and telling you and talking about the new Princess Connect episode. I was going to do this last week, but I kind of just got jumbled up with a bunch of stuff. It was a busy week, but we're going to be talking about it right now, the first episode, and my God, is it beautiful. Imagine this, okay? Go back to season 1, episode 1, and you will see that there is a staggering difference between this episode and the new season's episode, okay? So first of all, it's just gorgeous to watch. So we open up with a scene. Kokoro is saying good morning to Yuki, who's cutting the wood, being his wholesome, just generous self that he is. Karyl's still asleep because, it's Karyl. I mean, she's perfect any way she does. I mean, anything she does is just fine with me, okay? And then Precone, gazing upon her kingdom, is just mind-blowing because the panoramic shot that comes in and back, and then it reveals the title we've all been wanting to see for so long. Princess Connect Redive Season 2. I was overwhelmed with emotion, but that is nothing compared to what happens. So the entire episode, it focuses on the Gourmet Guild trying to find this legendary spice or something, and nobody really knows too much information about it, what it is. Kokoro got it from the guild because she had given her some food or something. Was like, hey, why don't you try this out? I mean, it seems like you're kind of up your alley. And then so they head out on their adventure. Poor Karyl is struggling to breathe when running. Poor thing. And then they come across some wolves that are just like humans screaming. They're not even... I love the wolves in this show, man. They don't bark or anything. They just go it's so funny to me. And then you think for a second Yuki has control of the situation. You think for a very brief second that like, oh, he's actually gotten over the wolves, and they're like, nope, and they just yeet him away. It was one of the very first laughs of the season. And then we came across, the people that they're training, and Kazuma's voice actor, who's in the show. I don't know if I remember when I talked about Princess Connect, I said that it was very similar to Konosuba, and that may be why I'm so attached to it, because I love Konosuba, and when I saw Princess Connect, it reminded me so much of it, and I think the actual director of Konosuba directed an episode of, or not an episode, but I think they directed the entire first season of Princess Connect Redive, but someone correct me on that if I'm wrong, but I think I remember seeing something about it. They come across this like coral field. Like, we have no idea how they even got to this section. There was no lead up from where they were to this like place that looks like it's in Scotland to suddenly being, under the sea. There was no lead up, and I was like, you know what? Why did I expect any different? This is Princess Connect. There are no rules in the world of Princess Connect Redive. Do not expect there to be rules. And for a second, I'm like, oh, they're high. They are definitely high on some sort of fever dream, because Karyl's like, oh, wait for me. And everyone's like in this like sort of dream state. But no, it turns out they're literally like in a coral forest, and there are floating fish everywhere. It's a real thing. And then so Karyl is tired of eating fish, which is ironic for a cat, but she's a hungry cat girl. If she's hungry, feed her, okay? And then Precone and Yuki bring back this monster, this beef. We don't know what this beef is from, how they got this beef, or where it's from. And it's revealed that it's these monsters that are chilling out here. And then we get to probably the most oblivious Konosuba reference. They all start vomiting rainbows. And Karyl is already cat aqua. And everybody says that. Everyone says, oh, Karyl is cat aqua. We love her because she's cat aqua. And then she throws up rainbows like cat aqua. So I get where it's coming from. I get it. And I've always compared her to that too. And it's just this funny scene of everyone just throwing up because they've been poisoned. Yuki becomes a fish. And then they're all saved by this random stranger who heals them and is going to lead them to where this secret spice was, because, he was adventuring with his guilds at one point, and it was, where they set forth to find it. And so they eventually get there, and then they're attacked by ghosts who turn out to be the adventurers' old guildmates, and they turned out to be ghosts. And here was where the show kind of took its turn. Okay, Kokoro did this whole, healing, warm, healing thing to kind of like help them pass on from being ghosts, like angry ghosts, to passing on in the next life. And the guy, the adventurer that helped them, starts to pass on with them, and I'm sitting here crying my eyes out. Like, what? Why? This happened on 2 occasions, okay? Because I watched the show twice. It happened on 2 occasions, and I'm just sitting there like with just tears in my eyes. Like, this isn't that hard to deal with, but it was for me, apparently. And then they finally, make a makeshift plane out of leaves. Again, do not try to understand the rules of Princess Connect Redive, okay? You will drive yourself mad. And then we are led into the cavern with the original Princess Connect opening, which just sends everything into where it is now, and it's beautiful. And I was like, yes, finally we're back, and then the princess strike that Pecorine throws. Jesus Christ, dude, how much animation had to go into making that? And that's just the first episode, okay? That is the very first episode. And I can imagine what we're going to be seeing in the coming episodes. I think that it's going to be a 12-episode series. It could be a 1,000-episode series. I'm fine with either. But Princess Connect Redive is back, baby, and we will be doing another Princess Connect Redive podcast tomorrow, because the next episode is tomorrow. I'm recording this on Sunday. I know I should have done this whenever it came out, but I didn't, because I kind of thought about it. I'm like, should I, shouldn't I? And then I watched the episode again. I'm like, I should. To really spread the love of Princess Connect Redive, and I think those who really like it, because it's not really getting a lot of attention this season. There's a lot of other shows that it has to compete with, a lot of other shows that it's really bugging out with, but it's really good. And if you haven't watched Princess Connect Redive, I strongly suggest you do. Strongly suggest you watch season 1 first, and then you move on to season 2 and catch up with us this season, because it's great. It's literally one of my favorite things in the world, and I'm so glad that it's back, and I can't wait to talk to all of you about it this season, because it's one of the very few shows I'm looking forward to this season. And we'll be having a small podcast that I'm doing next, talking about the other shows I'm watching this season, and a little review about what we did with 3 Weebs in a Virtual World, because I screwed up the recording on that, and I got nothing out of it. So I hope y'all stick around for that. I hope you're enjoying this season so far. It's kind of, it's teetering, but we have Princess Connect Redive. So don't worry. There's nothing, nothing can go wrong. I say that. How bad can it be? Okay. And with that, I guess we'll be done with this episode. We'll be talking about episode 2 on Monday. So excited. Again, I'm very excited for this season. And I guess that's it. So go ahead and, go watch Princess Connect. It's the greatest thing in the world. And with that, I'm out. Peace. See ya.